Maggie and the Ferocious Beast. Okay, I remember this, but I don't remember too much about it. If I can jog my memory a bit. Maggie and the Ferocious Beast. There was also a pig. I remember it being good. I remember enjoying it. I got a lot of laughs out of it, but I don't remember too much after that. I'll put it in B tier, because I want to put it in A tier, but I don't remember enough for it to be A tier, but I remember it was good enough to at least be B tier. So that's where I'm going to put it, but I'll put it on the lower end, so I'll put it here, between Doc and Einstein's. Martha Speaks, I have no idea what that is. What the heck is this? My voice is dead because I am sick. And this is going to be fun to edit this to try to fix my voice, but I will be unable to. Martha Speaks is a dog. Okay. Okay, 2008 to 2014. So that's kind of newish. Not too much, actually. It's like 5 years now. Almost a decade, actually. Yeah, a decade, because 2019, 2008. Wow. Talking dog named Martha. Alphabet Pasta. Letters travel to her brain instead of her stomach, giving her the ability to speak human words. Huh. And it's about synonyms and okay, so it's a vocabulary-based show featuring a talking dog. That seems, that's an interesting premise, I guess. I don't really know if I'll check it out, but that seems cool, I guess. Maya and Miguel. You gotta love our representation, even in preschool shows. They're making sure people feel loved and welcomed. It was a good show. I liked it. Maya was a bit of a Mary Sue, now that I think about it, but it's a preschool show. No one's really analyzing the characters of preschool shows, except I'm definitely going to analyze the characters of Sophia the First at some point, because that show is just way too good. But Maya and Miguel, it's good. That's all I really got to say. I'll put it in B tier. I'll put it in the lower end of B tier, so that seems like a good spot for it. Okay, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood we will get to later, because of reasons that I don't want to say right now. Dragon Tales. Dragon Tales is easily S tier. That is easily S tier. Where S tier, though? This seems good. That seems good. Yeah, Dragon Tales is a lot of fun. Unique, diverse characters. They all have their own personality to it. It's like a good cast, a good ensemble. Everything blends together. Entertaining. The episodes are a blast. It's a lot of fun, enjoyable for all ages. I really love Dragon Tales, and I really think you should check it out if you haven't. Butterbean's Cafe. I've seen a few episodes of this, and it's really good. I think this is the same boat as Abby Hatcher and Corn and Peg, where it's too new to say S tier, but give it some time and it'll probably be S tier. So I'll put you in I'll put you between Corn and Peg and Abby Hatcher. That seems like pretty good. Could be S tier given some time, but for now it's A tier. Nella and the Princess Knight. I have no idea what this is. Let's see what this is. Nella and the Princess Knight. Okay. So it's Nick. Okay, I got that part. 2017. Huh, that's really new. It's only a few years old. Okay, Nella the Princess Knight is about Princess Nella, a girl who saves citizens of her parents' kingdom by turning into a Princess Knight whenever there is trouble. She goes on missions with Trinket, Sir Garrett, and Claude. Together they go on quests, solve mysteries, and learn valuable lessons. This seems really fun. This seems like it could easily be an S tier show if I had seen it. Let me look at some of the pictures. This show looks like a lot of fun. Yeah, This looks like a cool show. This has got my attention. I am gonna check this out, because this looks really good. This looks like it's something that could, I really hope this doesn't disappoint me, because just looking at the synopsis and the pictures, this looks good. This looks like it could really be S tier. Okay, so, Nella, don't disappoint me. Bob the Builder. Bob the Builder it's a really good show. I really like it. It's about construction work, so you can't really get too varied with your plots, but at the same time, the cast of characters that they have is pretty good. All the different equipment. What I really love about Bob the Builder, and I guess this holds true for Handy Manny, but I didn't really talk about it back then, was the equipment has personality that matches their role in their job, if that makes sense. What I mean is, like, the tool that you need has a personality that you would think matches that tool, and I think that's really cool, really unique. So I'll put Bob in A tier. You can go above Dora, that works out. Bob in A tier, because it's really good, not too varied, but a lot of love, a lot of care. The characters look kind of weird looking back at it. I don't think it's aged all that well, but that's not too big of a problem for me. Okay, PJ Masks. PJ Masks is easily S tier. That's easily S tier. It's a really great show. Basically take superheroes, add in supervillains at night, and you got a show. Okay, that's oversimplifying it, but it's a really good show. Like, you know, it's got a surprisingly good amount of action for a preschool show. Like, you would think preschool shows wouldn't have too much action, because since it's meant for preschoolers, you know, you don't want to, like, have too much violence for them. But it has a surprisingly good amount of action in it, and that's really cool. And the characters are really good, too. You know, the 3 main characters, Connor, Greg, and Amaya, Catboy, Gecko, and Owlette. They're really good characters. I really like them. The villains are also really cool. My nephew loves PJ Masks. It's one of his favorite shows. It's one that I've seen the most on this list of the newer ones, but really good. Really like it. I recommend it to anyone. S tier. The New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. That's classic right there. That's nostalgia. That goes in S tier. Easily S tier. Yeah, you go up there. Winnie the Pooh is a character that transcends generations. Everyone has grown up with Pooh Bear since he has come out. It's a really good show, and I'm talking specifically about this version. This is the version I have the most fondest memories of, the New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. It's the one that I feel the most attached to, because it's the one I have the most memories of, as I just said. It's got a warm place in my heart, and speaking more generally about Pooh Bear, he's a lovable character. Like, you know, it's still around, he's still around, the 100 Acre Woods. It's just constantly going and moving from one generation to the next to the next. Like, Pooh Bear is such a classic and iconic character, and he's great, he's lovable. The cast is all great, you know, Piglet, Tigger, Eeyore. They're recognizable, they're memorable, they're iconic. And this show is really good. It's one of my favorite interpretations of them. Not just because it's the one I grew up with, or the one I remember the most, but it's the one that it captures them so well, in my opinion. And I might be biased, but again, it's Pooh Bear. You can't go wrong with that. Ni Hao Kai Lan, you can go in D tier. I never liked it. I think it was an interesting concept about wanting to teach Chinese, but I don't think they executed it all that well. Like, Ni Hao Kai Lan, it's kind of boring. I didn't really like it. I never found it too engaging. I don't think I learned anything, even though learning Chinese would be pretty cool from a preschool show. But at the same time, you gotta wonder what parents are like, hey, what's a priority for our preschooler? I know, let's teach him Chinese. That's really gonna get him a better education and a better job. Yo, what skills do you have? I learned Chinese when I was in preschool. Beat that. I don't know, it's weird. It's cool. It's a cool concept. But the show doesn't really do it the best it could, in my opinion, and it's Chinese. It's not that viable, I guess. It's just, you'll probably forget everything you learned in Ni Hao Kai Lan by the time you enter 2nd grade. Just my thought, anyways. Okay, Puppy Dog Pals. That's a good show. It's really repetitive, but it's not boring repetitive. Like, the first few episodes. The first couple of episodes are really boring. Like, I thought I was gonna hate this show when I first started watching it, because it was so boring at first. But as it sort of kept going, the adventures that the little puppies went on, Bingo and Rolly, the name of the 2 dogs, the adventures they went on sort of got better, and the stories got better. It became more entertaining. Kind of more... There was more to do, I guess. Like, more to see. And then the latest season, the new season, Season 2, they added a brand new character. And usually adding new characters are a sign that a show is going to die, but I don't think that's always the case. I think sometimes you need to add new characters to spice things up, and it's not always a bad thing. And in this case, it was definitely a good thing. Like, I really like the newer season with the new character. She's a little puppy. Even smaller than these 2 puppies. But it's really good. It keeps things fresh and entertaining, and I like it. So, I'll put it at low A tier. It might be higher A tier, or maybe even S tier if the first batch of episodes wasn't so boring. But overall, it's a good show. It's charming, it's cute, it's entertaining. Okay, we're almost done here. Mickey and the Roadster Racers. Okay, remember when I said Mickey Mouse Clubhouse was so boring? The best decision that Disney Jr. ever made was canceling Mickey Mouse Clubhouse and greenlighting Mickey and the Roadster Racers. Because Mickey and the Roadster Racers is a good show. It is entertaining, because it's split into 2 segments instead of being one huge, large chunk. Which, I mean, it's not even a large chunk, it's like 20 minutes. But 20 minutes really drag when you're as boring as Mickey Mouse Clubhouse is. It doesn't feel like 20 minutes. The episode feels like it goes on forever. But getting back to Roadster Racers, the first segment's usually about their whatever race they have to do. Like, you know, they get into their hot rods and they go around racing, and it's pretty cool. They got some cool race scenes, and they make pretty good use of their vehicles and stuff. And then the second segment is about Minnie and Daisy doing whatever thing they have to do, helping out the townsfolk. And it's really nice, like splitting it up like that. You got 2 different plots for each 15-minute chunk. It's refreshing, doesn't get boring, and it just feels really good. So I'll put you at low A tier, I guess. You can go right there. That seems pretty good. Because it's not S tier. I'm not gonna make an argument for it being S tier, but it's definitely at least A tier, and it's a huge step up from this boring mouse. Okay, this what the heck is this thing? I have no idea what this is, and it doesn't have the title on it anywhere. Can I? No, I can't copy and paste it. I have no idea what this... If anyone knows what this is, please tell me, because I have no idea what that is. Okay, almost done. Bubble Guppies. I'll put Bubble Guppies in D tier, because I just find it to be pretty boring. The characters are all kind of the same. Like, they have their own personality, but it doesn't really stand out too much, and they kind of just all blend together. I can never tell them apart. Like, I don't know. If you ask me who's on screen at any given moment, I'll say the green fish person. What are they anyways? Are they mer people? I don't even think that was ever explained. Just not entertaining, not engaging. Sesame Street. Now, Sesame Street's easily S tier. It's Sesame Street. I don't even think I need to talk about it. Everyone loves Sesame Street. If you don't love Sesame Street, then I don't know what to say, because how could anyone not love Sesame Street? You got Grover, you got Oscar the Grouch, you got Big Bear. Big Bird, not Big Bear. Great, now I look like a fraud. You got Elmo, Ernie, Bert, the Count, 1 2 You got what's the name of the fairy princess girl? I haven't seen Sesame Street in forever. Now I look like even more of a fraud. The point is, Sesame Street is Sesame Street, and that's all I gotta say about that. Shimmer and Shine. That's a tough one. But if I had to put it somewhere, I'll say B tier. I'll put Shimmer and Shine in B tier, because it's enjoyable, but not that enjoyable. But it's not bad either. It's just kind of there. I don't really have anything to say about it. I haven't seen too much, but from what I have seen, that's basically what I can say. Sid the Science Kid. I have no idea what you are. What are you? Let's find out. Sid the Science Kid. What are you, Sid? Science. It looks weird. I can say that much about it. Okay, 2008 to 2013, so that's kind of old. Oh, I see. It aired together with Martha Speaks. That other thing I didn't watch. Sid, an inquisitive youngster who... This is a large synopsis. Solve math, science, etc. Okay. Okay, yeah. It's a science show. It looks weird. I don't think I'll check that one out. I don't think I'll add that to the watch list. Okay, Sunny Day. Sunny Day is a good show, but I am most definitely not the target audience. Not only am I not a preschooler, but I'm also not female. And this show very, very heavily aimed towards females. Which, I mean, I know gender stereotyping and all, but if we're talking about what the company targets towards, that is their target audience. So, it's good, but it's not my thing. Not at all. Like, I don't think I can get through an episode because I just don't find it too watchable for me. If it was 110% up to me, just my 100% opinion, I'd probably put it in D tier because I don't like it. But contrary to what you might think, this isn't 110% my opinion. I'm also thinking more generally. Like, I know for a lot of these I've said I don't like them, but it's more than just I don't like them. It's also I don't like them and I don't feel there's anything good about them. With this one, I don't like it, but I feel there are good things about it. Things that don't appeal to me, but things that are there. So, in that case, I'm gonna put it probably, I'll put it at high C tier. High C tier, maybe low B tier on another day, but today I'm putting it on high C tier. Super Y. I don't remember too much about Super Y, but I don't remember being too impressed with Super Y. Super Y, they have a book, they have questions, and they get answers to their questions from the book, and they go on a bunch of adventures and stuff. I want to put Super Y in B tier, but I don't remember enough about it to put it in C tier, so I'll just put you at C tier. That works pretty good. Teletubbies. Teletubbies is, ugh, I want to put Teletubbies in S tier, but I think that might be too high. Nah, that's good enough. Teletubbies goes in S tier. Okay, next we have Berenstain Bears. See, if this was the Berenstain Bears, it would be an S tier. But since this is the Berenstain Bears, you can go in D tier. That's what you get for not being the Berenstain Bears, Berenstain Bears. Thomas and Friends. This is a tough one. Because technically, Thomas and Friends has been running for like over 30 years, I want to say. More. It's had like 20 seasons. And a lot of people think that Thomas and Friends, their new series, but it's one long-running series. It's the same one that's been going on forever, just with similar again to Max and Ruby and Arthur, different writers and different voice actors and stuff. So, different generations of Thomas and Friends are better, and different ones are worse than others, but if I'm gonna give it a general one, I really like Thomas and Friends. I think it's pretty good. I guess I'll put it in A tier. A tier works. That seems pretty good. So, I'll put the terrains there. Next is, I know what this thing is called. Why can't I remember the name right now? Team Umizoomi. It's called Team Umizoomi. Team Umizoomi is similar to Bubble Guppies, where it's kind of, I find it to be annoying and repetitive, but I do like Umizoomi more than Bubble Guppies, because at least in Umizoomi, the characters have unique personalities, and I know who's who. In Bubble Guppies, I cannot tell them apart. So, I'll put you at low C tier, but I'll put you above Jake. That seems pretty good. Okay, Barney and Friends. Barney and Friends is really good. I think Barney gets a lot of hate, but it's really good. It's classic. It's Barney. Everyone loves Barney. Well, not everyone. This isn't like Sesame Street, where I can say everyone loves Sesame Street. But Barney's still really good. Barney's high, so I'll put Barney in S tier. Barney can go in S tier, above Max and Ruby, but below PJ Masks. That seems like a good fit for Barney. Okay, the Wonder Pets are not something I ever liked. I found the Wonder Pets to be kind of just not good. I think maybe it was the blending of real world with cartoons, and then the animals are also like, they kind of stick out. Like, it just looks, it never really worked for me. I didn't really like it. So yeah, Wonder Pets are D tier. That's the point I'm trying to get at. Actually, I'll put you lower because I really don't like you. Okay, 4 more to go. Wordgirl. Wordgirl is easily S tier. Like, this show is really, like, first of all, this is a preschool show, or at least it's supposed to be a preschool show in quotes. But the vocabulary on this show is really good. Like, it is not preschool vocabulary. It's like 3rd or 4th grade vocabulary. And what's more, I learned some new words on this show. Like, it has really good vocabulary in it. Like, it's not generic standard words that any other show would have. It's some unique words you wouldn't think about. And even beyond the educational aspect, the entertainment aspect is really there. Like, Wordgirl is really entertaining. Like, the characters are all good. It's supposed to be a parody of Superman, and it's really there. Like there's one episode where Wordgirl gets weak because of a substance from her planet, and it's so Superman. Like, it's kryptonite, except here I think it was Lexonite or something. I don't know. She's from the planet Lexicon, so I think Lexonite works. I don't know. And then her villains are all parodies. Like, Dr. Two-Brain is Dr. Two-Face, and then Evil Company Man. And, like, it's really good. It's a great superhero parody that's also educational. I love it. You go right above, I'll put you above Dragon Tales. That seems good. Okay, Wow Wow Wubsy. Wow Wow Wubsy did not wow me. Not in the slightest. So, I'll put it in C tier. Because it's okay. It's entertaining and enjoyable, but there's not that wow factor. For a show called Wow Wow Wubsy, it doesn't wow me. And now Top Wing. Top Wing is in the same boat that Abby Hatcher, Butterbean's Cafe, and Corn and Peg is, where it's kind of too new, and I haven't seen too many episodes to 100% judge it. But I do really like it. Like, it's a great show. I love it. This would easily be S tier if there was more to work with. But the fact that there isn't means I'll just put it in high A tier, the top of A tier, and we'll go from there. Okay, now Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. And the reason I saved this for last is because if I did this earlier, everyone would click off the video and dislike it, because I don't like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. I'm sorry, I just don't like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. I don't like Mr. Rogers. I don't like any of the segments. I don't like the show. I always found it so boring. Like, Mr. Rogers is supposed to, he teaches you about manners and being polite and civil, and he also teaches you how to break dance, and he's hip and cool, but also polite and courteous, and his sweater's in the Smithsonian, and I just don't care. I'm sorry, I don't like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. It was never a show for me. And it's such a popular show that I'm not going to put it in D tier. Because, again, similar to it's not the Shimmer and Shine. Similar to Sunny Day, this isn't just what I think. It's what I think and what I feel mixed with general thoughts about the show. And in general, I don't like Mr. Rogers. But I acknowledge the good that's there. It's a good show if it doesn't bore you. And it bored me. It still bores me. I don't like Mr. Rogers. But because it's good for those who like it. And that sounds like a dumb statement, because that's true for literally everything. But in this case, if you think about it, that sentence makes sense. And if it still doesn't make sense, then pretend it makes sense for my sake, please, because I don't like Mr. Rogers and I don't want the internet to hate me. So, because of all of that, I will put Mr. Rogers at the end of C tier, as much as I want to put it near the end of D tier, because I just don't like Mr. Rogers. But I can't hate on it too much because the good is there. Like, Mr. Rogers he's a pretty nice guy, I guess I can say that much. I don't know. So let's take a look at what we have here. Let me see if I want to move anything around before I make the final list. Or this is the final list, but... Okay, at the top of SS tier, sitting nicely, we have Sophia the First. A show that is too good to be a preschool show, and that everyone watching this video should watch immediately. Elena of Avalor. A spin-off slash sequel to Sophia the First. More spin-off than sequel, because they're not really that... They're intertwined, but they're not directly connected. Well, they are directly... Watch it and you'll know what I'm talking about. Point is, another really good show. Technically a Disney show, not a Disney Junior show, but whatever. SS tier, those two, because they are just miles above any other show on this list. Lazy Town, great, nostalgic, memey, heartfelt, lovable. Sesame Street is Sesame Street, nothing else to be said. Zaboomafoo, great, learning about animals. My voice is dead and I really need to end this video before I lose it forever. Entertaining, lovable, classic, iconic, educational. It's Zaboomafoo. Blue's Clues, engaging, unique, varied, creative. Blue's Clues. I'm running out of things to say. Winnie the Pooh is Winnie the Pooh, and this is the version of Winnie the Pooh I love most. Stanley, similar to Zaboomafoo, you got the animals, you got the variety, and you got great characters. Arthur, long-running series that hasn't lost its touch, despite what others would say. Wordgirl, a loving parody that has a lot of heart put into it, with great vocabulary words that will make even grown people learn something. Dragon Tales, varied characters again, a unique world, rich environment, great stories, entertaining, enjoyable for all ages. PJ Masks, great action, great characters, some really good lessons that don't even feel forced most of the time. Because a lot of preschool shows have forced lessons, but I don't think PJ Masks lessons are forced. I think they integrate them into the story very nicely, and that's wonderful. Barney and Friends is Barney and Friends. I love you, you love me, Barney goes in S tier, please. Pretend that rhymed for my sake. Max and Ruby, ongoing, character development, growth, good stories, a great brother and sister relationship. Maybe someday we'll find out what happened to their parents, or maybe we already have, I don't know, I haven't kept up with it. Clifford is a big red dog, because Emily Elizabeth gave him a lot of love, and I have a lot of love for Clifford. That's why it's on S tier. Teletubbies, I forgot to mention this earlier, but Teletubbies actually, I don't know if it came back, or if it's still running, or whatever, but apparently there's Teletubbies babies now. Like, they have little babies, and they're Teletubbies. I don't know how that works, but it's weird. But cool, I guess? I don't know. Paw Patrol. Paw Patrol. They'll be there on the double. And this is on S tier, because I've run out of things to say. Vampirina, again, enjoyable. Vampires are... Even if this wasn't a good show, the fact that it has vampires would have made it at least A tier for me. I love vampires. You can never go wrong with vampires. Top Wings. Great show, great characters, great stories, great action. Too new to put it on S tier. Abby Hatcher, same thing. Butterbean's Cafe, really enjoyable. It's a show about a coffee shop. Well, not a coffee shop, but a cafe. With, like, a bakery. With fairies. It's a good show. You should watch it. Corn and Peg, only a month old. So, the fact that it's only a month old and already A tier tells you that it had a really strong start. I really hope it doesn't become bland and boring over time. Like, I hope they can keep it fresh and unique. Muppet Babies captures the heart of the Muppets in baby format. Brand new character who's really lovable and enjoyable. Summer Penguin. Great stories, great theme song, but they all have great theme songs. Thomas and Friends, long-running story. Great characters, great... The fact that it's been going for so long, and they haven't had to recycle the same plot, well, not blatantly recycle anyways, it just goes to show how good it is and how much it has going for it. Bob the Builder, kind of dated, looks kind of weird. I heard that there's a Bob the Builder remake, or not a remake, or a continuation or a remake, something, that came out in 2018 that got canceled after one season, but I haven't heard anything about it other than like when it was first announced, so I'm guessing it wasn't good. So this is just based on the original, and just based off of the original, it's good. Really good. A tier. Dora gets too much hate, but it has a lot of charm and uniqueness to it. Despite the fact that Dora feels the need to stop the show every 5 minutes, it doesn't get as annoying as other shows that do it. Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. But, you know, man, I'm really sick. That cough was so bad. You know, it's Dora. What you gonna do about it? You're gonna put it in A tier. That's what you're gonna do about it. Mickey and the Roadster Racers, a huge step up from the Clubhouse disaster. Really good races, good characters, you know. The fact that they're Roadster Racers is actually really cool, because that's like, it's a unique style that it has, and you know, they're not just like, it's not just ordinary race cars, they have like all these cool things to it, and it's very cartoony and over the top, and I just really like it. Puppy Dog Pals is a cute show that had a rough start, but it's really grown on me, and it's really developed, and adding in new characters to keep everything fresh, and it's just really good. Clifford's Puppy Dog Days, a bit unnecessary, but still good nonetheless. Shimmer and Shine, some good parts, some bad parts. Overall, just kind of more good than bad, just kind of there. Blaze and the Monster Machines, why the heck did you feel the need to become Blaze and the Animal Machines? Which, it's still called Blaze and the Monster Machines, even though they have animals now. That doesn't make sense. Kipper, I liked you, but I don't remember anything about you. And if I remembered more about you, I'd probably like you more. Fancy Nancy, a show that's quite fantastique. That's French for fantastic. As Nancy will tell you at least 3 times in any given episode. Like I said, she can be kind of annoying, but only if you watch too many episodes. Doc McStuffins, Disney. Doc McStuffins Toy Story crossover. Make it happen. Maggie and the Ferocious Beast is a show that I don't know what to say about, because I've run out of things to say, and I still have like 20 more shows to go. Little Einsteins is charming, unique, enjoyable, but not too enjoyable. Maya and Miguel, hashtag representation matters. The Lion Guard, hashtag Scar did nothing wrong. The Wild Kratts, hashtag not as good as Zaboomafoo. Nini needs to go. Go to the bathroom already, girl. Sunny Day is a show that is targeted towards females because hashtag gender stereotypes. Go, Diego, go. Go, Diego, back to the jungle and let Dora have the better show. Super Y, why did you end up on C tier? I don't know. Wow, wow, Wubsy, why can't you wow me? Handy Manny. B Bob the Builder. Curious George, I'm curious why you ended up on C tier too, George. JJ the Jet Plane. You look weird. Octonauts. I barely remember you. Secret Agent Oso. I also barely remember you. My voice is dead. I need to stop talking. Team Umizoomi. Team C tier. Jake and the Netherland Pirates. Maybe if I liked Peter Pan more, it'd be higher, but eh. Pocoyo. It's Pocoyo. Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood is a show that I don't like, and people are gonna hate me for it for the rest of my YouTube career. Bubble Guppies. I can't tell any of you apart. What are your names again? I don't know. Dora and Friends Into the City. Somehow the live-action Dora film looks better than this. Ni Hao Kailan. Whatever Chinese for bye-bye is, Kailan. Wonder Pets. I wonder how you ended up in D tier, Pets. Caillou is a brat, but he's a child, so it's okay. Except not really. He needs better parents. Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. I hate this show so much. Why are you so boring? The Backyardigans. I guess this happened. Peppa Pig. Hey, isn't this the show that had that creepy monster showing up and scaring kids? Yo Gabba Gabba. Yo, Gabba. You're a bad show. The Berenstain Bears. Why can't you be the Berenstain Bears? And I don't remember the rest of you, or know the rest of you, so I'm gonna pretend you don't exist. And there is our tier list. It only took like half an hour, and it only killed my voice a lot. So, if you want to make your own tier list, I'm gonna have the link to this in the description below. Oh hey, more people made their tier lists. Okay, if you want me to judge these people's tier lists, let me know, and I will harshly judge their tier lists for not being as good as mine. Until then, I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope my voice recovers from this disastrous video. Goodbye!